Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Kevin Ross, and I am the founding chairman of Washington First Robotics, otherwise known as First Walk. And tonight we are going to have our briefing for the 2012 Spokane Regional. With us on the line here is Dale Garraway. Say hi, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
There he is. And also Christian Hansen, who is he's the chair of the regional committee in Spokane, and we're trying to get his microphone up and running. So hopefully we'll get that. Otherwise, I will probably do most of the yakking this evening. We are going to try and get through this as quickly as we can. For those who are asking if somebody was unable to attend, I'm actually recording this right now, and we will post that on the internet in probably about a half hour after the end of this presentation. So real quickly, we're using a program called GoToWebinar, and since there are so many of us on the phone, only the presenters are currently unmuted. If you have any questions, feel free to either type your question in the question box, you'll find that as part of your controls, or you can use the raise hand function, and if you do raise your hand, we're going to go ahead and call on you, and I'll warn you, I may unmute your microphone to do that. Oh, and somebody I think that might have been you, Christian. Was that you?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
You know what happened? I plugged in my speakers, and that apparently disabled my microphone, so I should be good now.
Well, there you go. All right. If the slides that I'm going to show you right now will also be available, so both the video and the slides will be available on our website, and I'll be showing that to you in a little while. Okay, so, well, there we go. For some reason I had the same slide twice. No big deal. What we're going to do is we're going to go over a quick overview of the pre-event paperwork that we will need you to fill out, talk about the general logistics of arriving at the event and where you should go and who you should find. We'll talk about checking in a little bit, and then we'll go over the schedule for the 4 days that we're going to be in Cheney, and then we'll wrap it up with some of the key volunteers so you know who is who and where is where. Now, I realize that a lot of you who are completely new to FRC, so I'm going to actually preface all of this with a really quick introduction to what FRC is, and I'm just going to do it using 4 pictures. And here they are. So the first robotics competition is a contest for high school students. Anybody on high school age is eligible to participate. We have 96 teams in the state of Washington. We have, at the event that we're doing this week, there are going to be 48 teams. As you can see in the upper left, the robots are playing a game called Rebound Rumble. It's a basketball derivative, especially designed for robots. And you can see at the bottom that there are two basic things they're doing. They are shooting balls at the 4 baskets to score, and then they're also balancing on this bridge. So it's a fun game. It's really designed to get kids interested in science and technology and give them a great engineering experience. So part of our goal for the next 4 days, or for the 4 days that we're at this event, is to give all of these students, mentors, and of course all of the other volunteers a really great experience with the FIRST community, so that they not only feel like part of that community, but feel really good about what they've accomplished and what it is that engineering and science and technology can do, and hopefully we can convert many of them into budding engineers and scientists. So that's generally our goal. It is a fun event. It is loud. It is a kind of a combination of a rock concert and an NBA game, and you'll end up having a great time. So with that, let me just hit real quick a few things that you can do before you arrive in Cheney. There's a thing called a consent and release form, and another one called conflict of interest form. And you can find these on our website. And our website is called firstwa.org. And here it is. And if you go over to volunteer, under the volunteer tab and pre-event forms, you'll find the consent and release form. It's a sort of a standard. You agree that you're there and you're not going to sue us if something happens, sort of thing. And we also have the right to take your picture. I just realized that we don't have the conflict of interest form, but it's a really short form. You can handle that during check-in. So you can also, while I'm up here, on this same website under volunteer, if you go down to training, you will find FRC Spokane 2012. A section just like this is going to appear shortly after this presentation. You'll have access to both the slides and a YouTube recording of this. All right. The other thing that you can look at is under FRC, we have a page for the Spokane Regional, and you can find out. You can feel free to browse through this information. It may have things that you might or might not have known about. You're welcome to take a look at that at your leisure. All right. So with that, if you would like to have a different name on your badge, when you filled out VIMs, you may have given your full legal name, and if you would prefer to have a shorter name, Dale didn't know that I put this on here, but I hope he doesn't mind. Send an email to Dale Garraway. There's his email address. He's our volunteer coordinator, and they'll do what they can to try and get your name badge changed. If not, we can probably print you up one on site, but it helps if you could help us do that early. So this is kind of really all you need to do before you get there, unless you are a referee or a robot inspector, in which case you should have already passed your certifications, and I believe everybody has. Okay, what to bring with you? We really recommend comfortable shoes. There is a lot of walking at FRC events, so tennis shoes are pretty good. This is a blue jean and t-shirt event. I really recommend not wearing high heels or dress shoes that you might find uncomfortable standing around in for, say, 12 or 14 hours. So also, it's really important that we don't do Birkenstocks or Crocs or open-toed shoes or things without heels. And there's a good reason for this. There's a lot of extruded aluminum and other sharp things that teams are using on the ground, and kicking that is kicking a piece of aluminum, especially a piece of angle iron, on the ground will give you a foot injury that you don't ever want to have to deal with. It's just, you will never recover from it, actually. So we're pretty stringent about please wear tennis shoes or work boots. Okay. If you're on the field, if you're around the field, we kind of would like to ask that you wear long pants and some darker jeans. We're going to give you a volunteer shirt. We kind of want the field to look good, so we'd appreciate your compliance with that. So I know that your utility kilt really seems liberating for the day, but we're trying to keep a nice uniform dress code around the field, so appreciate that. If you have a reusable water bottle that you could bring with you, that would be very much appreciated. If we have to buy bottled water, actually it's not too bad in Cheney. Some of the events that we do, we actually had like $10,000 water bill at Key Arena a couple years ago because everybody's drinking the little water bottles. They were $4 a pop. So we don't have that problem in Cheney, but if you did bring your own reusable water bottle, we'd appreciate it. And then something that's really important for us is FIRST has this ethic called gracious professionalism. Really what that means is that we try to treat everybody with respect, and it's a very, very nice group of people to be with. So gracious professionalism extends to when things don't go right as well. So this will be the first time that the committee in Spokane has done this event, and while we don't anticipate any problems, it is possible for us to have missed something or for things not to go quite as well as we planned out. So we really appreciate your flexibility to just sort of roll with it if something isn't working. By all means, let us know, but please do it graciously and professionally. And keep in mind that everybody in the room is a volunteer, so we're doing the best we can. All right. So that isn't too bad. Any questions about any of that so far? Okay. So where is the event? We keep calling it the Spokane Regional, but it's actually in Cheney, Washington, which is where Eastern Washington University is. So if you're headed from the west side over, I would definitely try doing a Google map or something so that you can see the route to get to Cheney. Because if you drive all the way into Spokane, you have to backtrack. So we're going to be down here in lovely Cheney. We are going to a place called Reese Court. And Reese Court is their athletic pavilion, if you will. And this is an overview of it, an aerial view of it. The right side building over here is where the game is being played. It's a real nice basketball facility, and we'll be right out in the middle of it. And then, so this is where the game is played. And we have a second area called the pits. And the pits will be over here in what's called the field house. And so those are the two main areas that you'll be getting to know quite well. In the pits, you'll find every team has a 10-foot by 10-foot area. Here's an overview of it. So each team gets a 10-foot by 10-foot space, and that's their pit area. And it's kind of like, NASCAR pits. They're in there working on their robots. FRC teams are labeled with a number. And so we have 48 teams. The lower the number, just in case you're wondering, the longer the team has been in existence. So teams, their number is permanent, and it's actually okay to refer to a team by their number. All of the teams do. They wear their number as a badge of honor, so don't feel bad about calling them Team 4120 rather than the community school from Spokane. Yeah, calling them Team 4120 is just fine, and a lot of the teams prefer that. The pit area itself is, this is a huge area. There's a practice field on one end. There's an area called the pit admin area, and this is sort of the central administrator of this whole facility. And we have, if you're inside this pit area, excluding what's behind this pipe and drape, you need to be wearing safety glasses at all times in here. We force everybody to wear safety glasses because there are machines being worked on and power tools being used, and it's just easier if we force everybody to wear them. So, and we will provide you safety glasses as volunteers. We have a truckload of them that were donated by Les Schwab, and so we thank them very much for that. So we have safety glasses for you, so you don't need to worry about bringing your own. If you have some, you're welcome to bring yours if you'd like. The main areas of the pit are, well, the pits themselves, and then we have a practice field over here. It is actually not quite this big, but it's got an area for the teams to come over and to test and play with their robots. We have an inspection area. If you're a robot inspector, you'll be finding your way down here on the left-hand side to group up with the lead robot inspectors. And then we have a spare parts desk and pit admin again. So and then there's a machine shop, and outside there will be a welding area. The machine shop may end up outside, but we're trying really hard to get it moved inside. Okay. So that's, and we'll give you this map, and you can map out where the teams are. Now, if you're just so everybody's on board of why the numbers look jumbled, we intentionally took the lowest number team, which is Team 294 from Miracosta High School in Redondo Beach, California, and they have been strategically positioned right next door to Team 4120, which is our newest school. And the reason we do this is that these teams are going to help each other. And you can see, so it's every other pit space is a low numbered team, and then the high numbered teams work backwards. So if you're trying to figure out why it looks like these things are in random order, they actually are not. There actually is a order to it. And so the veteran teams go this way and that way and this way and that way. So as you can see, all their numbers are increasing. And then the rookies are in decreasing order. So there is a rhyme or reason to it, not totally random. Okay? Any questions so far on that? So some of you will be located, some of you, and depending on what your job is, will spend a great deal of your time in the pits, and many of you will spend a great deal of time in the field house. And for
Kevin, I did notice a few people had their hand up. I don't know if you wanted to take a break and see if there are some questions.
Yeah, so we have John. John, I'm about to unmute you. Let's see what happens. Is John Thompson, you there? Do you have a mic? Up. Okay. Well, I'm going to guess he probably didn't have a question.
If you look under the attendees, there's several that have a question mark.
The question marks meant that they typed into the questions box.
Okay. So it's just John. Okay.
Yeah. No worries. So I'm gonna
All
go
right.
ahead and lower his hand. Okay. Good. Thanks for watching that. Okay, so the logistics sort of for you as volunteers, when you arrive, there's this parking lot. It's called P12, and you're welcome to park up here and walk down to Reese Court. We haven't exactly determined which door you're going to enter, but it's going to be probably one of these doors over here, and we'll have a sign. It'll be a little more obvious. But there'll be a sign there, and volunteer check-in will be just inside in the pavilion itself. So when you come in, we'll check you in, and so if you're coming on Wednesday, we'll check you in when you arrive. The doors open for volunteers. The doors open at 7 a.m. on Thursday, and so if you're coming in on Thursday, please try and get there right about 7. The initial check-in takes a little bit of time. It takes about 15 minutes. Subsequent check-ins are much faster because your badge that we give you just has a barcode on it, and we're just going to scan you and let you move right on through. Okay? We really do need you to check in with us though, because there'll be getting the lunch count partially off of what who has actually checked in for the day. Okay, when you come, you're welcome to bring whatever you want. With this many people, it's usually best not to bring things that you need to store securely. It's not that anything's going to disappear, but there's going to be a lot of stuff around. So, you know, if you could leave your backpack in the car, that might be good. You're welcome to bring it in, and I'm sure we'll have an area for you to drop stuff. But the reality is, you know, don't bring a whole bunch of stuff with you that needs storing, because we have 140 volunteers signed up, and we can end up with quite a pile of things to weed through. Okay, breakfast is in the field house in the volunteer lounge, and so if I go back to the volunteer to the pits, this is the field house. There's a curtain back here, and our volunteer lounge is going to be back here in this area. So, and it'll be, this is strictly for volunteers. There'll be, you know, teams aren't allowed back here, and so this is, you can come back here and hang out and get some food. Mr. Crater is asking, will folks be bringing their robots and pits for load-in? Hi, Kev. You got your speaker, your mic on?
I do.
So, yes, as a matter of fact, they will be bringing stuff in on Wednesday.
Right. Where are they loading stuff in from? Over by the machine shop from outside in, or?
Yeah, yeah. And actually, I'll hit that in about 3 slides.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks.
Okay, so once you've checked in at Reese Court, you're going to walk over through the pits and back here to eat. All right. Dale, how am I doing? Have I got anything wrong yet?
I was just going to say that for getting the meals, you definitely have to check in. You have to check in every day, and you'll be getting a sticker on your name card that says you can get a meal.
Yep. So yes, and so please do. Yeah, so you do need to check in every day, and we really appreciate that. If you're showing up on Wednesday for setup, we'll treat you a little specially. But for the most part, everybody who checks in Thursday, Friday, everybody checks in on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, okay, that isn't so bad. Let's try this slide. We again, if you're in the pits or around the field area, you must wear safety glasses. It's a first rule. It's wide-ranging and non-negotiable. Just that easy. And if you're in a role that is directing people to do things, and there will be a lot of you, if you're doing either crowd control or monitoring safety glass compliance or those sorts of things, we are a horrendously polite group, and we usually don't order people to do things. We are much more in lines of, hey, would you please? And that's really kind of how we keep the kids feeling valued and not feeling barked at. So it's really important for us to do that. So this gracious professionalism thing is we try and give them gentle reminders or give them very positive feedback about what it is we want them to do. Like, boy, we'd really appreciate it if you guys wouldn't go this way. This area is kind of closed off. Thank you, right? And so that's kind of the gist of how FIRST operates. And feel free to talk to the students and congratulate them for what they've done. High fives. It turns out you can just be walking down the hall and high five people for absolutely no reason, and the kids kind of get a kick out of it. They'll get annoyed with it after a while, but for the first couple of days, they kind of have a good time with it. Okay. So let's talk about the schedule. Oh yes, and Kevin Crater is pointing out, bring your flair, and if you want to wear a goofy hat, you're welcome to. If you would like to wear a flower on your head, you can do that as well. You'll see some examples here in a minute. This is an event with a lot of flair, and so if you have a Dr. Seuss hat or a Viking hat or a Roman hat or a bald hat, whatever you want is good. So it makes it a lot of fun. The kids are also all dressed up in various things, so you'll feel right at home, and they'll appreciate whatever you're wearing. It's really quite amazing. Nicest group of people on the planet. Okay, so just so you're aware of what's going on, the whole event, sort of the schedule is broken up into 4 days. On Wednesday, we're going to be setting up the field. We're going to be setting up the pits. And then in the late afternoon, teams will arrive to drop off their robots in their pits, things for their pits, their supplies. Thursday, the teams arrive in the morning, and they spend all day trying to pass inspections. And so that's kind of the gist of what Thursday is. Friday is when the game starts, and we play things called qualification matches. And qualifications matches are played all day Friday and half of the day on Saturday. And then Saturday afternoon, we play what are called elimination rounds, but we kind of call them the final rounds. And then Saturday evening, we tear the whole thing down, and all of the teams depart, and we are basically out of the building Saturday night. Okay, so I guess for you, don't plan on leaving anything until Sunday. It won't be there when you show up. We will clear out everything, and if you leave it there, we'll probably put it on a truck to New Hampshire, because that's where Lost and Found goes. Okay. In a little bit better detail on, oops, daisy, I got the days wrong. Sorry about that. On the 4th, Wednesday, April 4th, field assembly is going to start at about 1 p.m. So if you are part of the field setup crew, we'd love to see you at 1 p.m. on Wednesday, or the 4th, and just come right on into Reese Court, and you'll end up hooking up our field supervisors. Team load-in volunteers, if you could start arriving between about 4:30 and 5, that would be awesome. And a lot of, if you're an inspector, you're kind of a team load-in volunteer. I know a lot of our inspectors are actually coming from all over the state, so if you can make it, great. If not, well, that's okay. We're hoping that the local inspectors will be there. The teams will actually start loading into the pits starting from 6, and they should be ending up by 8. And it's our goal to get you out of the building and send you home by 8:30 on Wednesday. Okay? Any questions about that? On Thursday, as you can tell, I grabbed the slides from Seattle. I apologize for that. So Thursday, we'll call it the 5th. I'm pretty sure that's the right date. We're hoping that volunteers will arrive around 7 a.m. You're going to have breakfast with us. You'll be meeting with your key volunteers. Usually, everybody's got a key volunteer they sort of report to, and we'll let you know who yours is. So 7 a.m. we have breakfast. We're going to have an additional load-in period at from 7:45 to 8:30. Those are for the teams that couldn't make it in time on Wednesday night. So they'll be loading their things into the pits and then leaving. And then the pits open at 8:30 a.m., and that's when you'll see an enormous group of probably about probably 750 to 1,000 high school students and their mentors file into the room and start working on their robots. The machine shop opens at 8:30. Inspections open at 8:30. For us, your lunch in the volunteer room should be between about 11:30 and 1:30. Dale, is that your understanding with the catering?
I've been saying 11 to 1, but I was guessing. I actually am not really sure what the exact time is.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll be feeding you somewhere between 11 and 1:30, something like that. The field people, your lunch will be is scheduled actually from 12 to 1, and then because that's part of the practice schedule. And then if you're a judge, Dale, I believe Kevin Reed has planned a judges meeting at 7.
I believe so. The dinner, I think, starts at 5.
Okay.
And then the meeting afterwards.
Okay. So hopefully you've been Kevin Reed. Oh, hello.
I was going to say, and the judges meeting and the dinner is happening in Hargrave's building, so it's not on the site of the event. It's actually in a different building on the campus.
You may want to turn it over to Paul May. He has his hand up, and I think he can give you the right time. It might be at 6 o'clock, but you may want to let Paul.
Actually, 6 sounds right.
Oh, Paul May. Hey, Paul, do you have a microphone?
Hi, this is Paul May.
Hi, Paul May. This is Kevin Ross. Nice to hear you.
Hi, Kevin. I met you over there in Seattle.
Absolutely. So what do you know about the judges' dinner?
Yep, judges' meeting is at 6 p.m. The dinner will be served at 6 p.m. and we'll start the training. Kevin Reed will be doing the training, excuse me, starting about 6:30, and hopefully we'll be done by 8 or 8:30. Also, I want to mention right now that the judges will have their breakfasts and lunches on Friday and Saturday in the judge room and not at the volunteer lounge. So when they come in Friday morning, be sure to come to the judge's room, which is room 217. So I think that's it for now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hang on one sec. I'm going to, oh, hey, look at that. So judge's dinner meeting at 6, and you should be getting instructions from the judge advisor about that. And our judge advisor's name is Kevin Reed. And
the judges did receive or should have received an email yesterday afternoon or this morning, because I sent one out yesterday.
All right. Well, thank you, Paul. I'm going to mute you again. There we go. Well, I lied. There we go. Okay. Friday is game day. And once again, we'd like you to arrive at 7 a.m. for breakfast. The pits are going to open at 8 a.m. and on Friday, we'll expect to see probably 1,400 to 1,500 students and mentors streaming into the building. The opening ceremonies are at 9, I believe is the public schedule. I say that without actually having looked at it. Michael, does that sound right to you?
I would have to go look at the schedule, which I've got on my computer, which I could do.
It should be following the standard schedule.
Yeah, I could go look.
Yeah, okay. So if
the lunch break, excuse me, the lunch break on Friday is 12:30.
It is.
12:30 to 1:30.
Ah, see, that's why I have to verify these things. Okay, so but basically, as volunteers, we try and get ready for opening ceremonies by about 8:45 so that we're all in place and ready to go. The game should be starting at 9:30. And then I just was corrected that the gameplay runs until 12:30, and then we have lunch till 1:30, and then so we have 1:30 to probably. Michael's going to tell me what time the award ceremony looks like.
I'll go look and I'll get right back to you.
Okay, good. So, but this is sort of in general what the schedule should look like. I will fix these slides, but you get the feel for it. Okay.
The award ceremony starts at 6, according to the schedule.
Does it? Okay. I apologize about that. Again, I grabbed the Seattle slides and didn't get that finished. Okay. All righty. So then we have the Saturday schedule. Kind of looks the same. You're going to get there at 7. Pits open at 8. We all at 8:45 start getting set for opening ceremonies. 9:30 the gameplay starts, and that will play until we're done with the qualification rounds, and that usually ends up putting us right around the 12 o'clock area. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late. We'll have to see how things run. But somewhere around 12, we do something called alliance selection, and that takes a little bit of time. So usually we have 12:30 to 1:30 lunch, somewhere in there. Okay, 1:30 we start the elimination rounds. That usually takes about 3 hours. The award ceremony, it kind of depends on how long the elimination and the final rounds take, but usually somewhere around 4:30 we end up with our award ceremony, and then we start loading everybody out. Basic idea. Any questions about that?
Kevin, on Friday, so seating matches from 9:30 to 12:30.
Okay.
Lunch from 12:30 to 1:30.
Lunch from 12:30 to 1:30. Okay. And then when do the qualification rounds end?
5:45 is what is on the public agenda.
5:45. So 6:30 pit close?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock pit close. And there's a team social at 7, right?
6 to 8 is what has been on one of the sheets I've seen. My sense is there's probably some flexibility around that, but maybe Dale or Christian could comment.
Yeah, we certainly wouldn't want to start them until after the award ceremony is over. So I'll pass that along.
Okay. So there it is. Okay. And then Michael, on so does Saturday look correct to you? Sorry, here's Saturday.
Hold on, I'm just going back to, I'm back and forth. Saturday is 9:30 to 12:15. Alliance selection at 12:15.
Okay.
Lunch 12:30 to 1:30.
Yep.
1:30 to 4:30. I'm sorry, I'm looking back and forth.
So, okay, good. Hey, I got one of them right. Cool. Okay.
You get a gold star.
Okay, so this event is free and open to the public, and so if you have family members or people that you would like to invite, you're welcome to do so. Friday and Saturday are the best days for them. Thursday is a real snoozer. I wouldn't invite anybody for Thursday. It is a long, boring day unless you're on a team and working on a robot. So if you wanted to invite somebody for just a couple of hours, I'd highly recommend Saturday afternoon, say around 2 o'clock. They'll be there from 2 to 4:30 or so, and they'll see the most exciting rounds because those are the finals. Not to say that the whole thing is exciting, and so any day, Friday or Saturday, but if you were asking me my honest opinion, I would invite them for Saturday afternoon. There will be a live stream on our website if you would like to take advantage of that. If you've got somebody that you doesn't want to drive all the way out there, but you'd still like them to see it, we invite you to have them take a look. Details are on. It'll be right on the front page of firstwa.org, so you can just send them there. Okay. All right. So now we've got. Whoops! I just clicked on the link rather than putting. There we go. Oh, cool. I gave you. Oh, okay. Sorry, I had one extra slide. We'll get rid of that one. So we have many people who are called key volunteers, and these are made up of two groups of folks. There are the key volunteers that are our new key volunteers that we're very, very excited to have getting involved in the Spokane area. They are all new to their jobs, and they're going to do an amazing job to make sure that this is a great event. And backing them up, we have a whole bunch of, we'll call them the first walk key volunteers. These are people who have done this a number of times. And so between the two groups, we will manage to put on a really first-class show. And so since most of you are new, I just wanted to point out a few things that we want to make sure that you realize. Number one, and really important one, is if anybody asks you, if a team member or anybody asks you a question about the game, especially teams, all questions about gameplay have to go to the referees. I don't answer them. So we got to be really careful not to go telling teams rulings because we're not allowed to. It's really up to the referees to tell them that. If people have technical questions about what can and can't be on the robot, you need to have them ask an inspector. And again, that's something I get hit with all the time. I might, if it's an easy question and I know the answer to it, I will tell them, well, according to my understanding, this is correct, but you should ask an inspector to be sure. Okay, and what we don't want to have happen is students asking some random person with a volunteer badge a question and then get conflicting information. It makes kind of a mess. The other really key guys that we're watching out for are the field supervisors, and they take care of everything out on the field and are really awesome people. So let me introduce you to, and then we also have, of course, our judge advisor who's, let's see, I can't get my slides to work. There we go. Why is that? Oh, because I'm running the wrong slideshow. Okay, cool. I'm running two slideshows at once. This is pretty nifty. Hang on a sec. Okay, there we go. If you are a judge, this is Kevin Reed. He is our lead judge advisor. He's been doing this as long as I have. He's a very, very experienced judge advisor, and he will be leading you through all sorts of good things having to do with judging. So all things judging, that's your guy. And Jim Wright's asking if he'll have the blue beard. I hope so, because he looks stunning in a blue beard. This is Paul Roush. Paul is our machine shop lead. We have a mobile machine shop that we drag with us. Paul is in charge of all of that. And so if you're working in the machine shop, he is your key guy that you'll be working with. We're bringing two field supervisors with us, Brogan Thompson and Ron Baker. They are outstanding field supervisors, and they will take care of helping to get the field set up and making sure that everything's running and things are in place. And they kind of maintain that area down there. Okay. We have two robot inspectors, or two sets of robot, or what am I trying to say? We have Brian and Dooney, and Brian's here on the line. Actually, Brian, I'm going to unmute you. How are you?
Thank you so much.
So Brian is an experienced FRC team mentor, and he is our lead robot inspector for Spokane.
Right. I have 3 years experience with the team here in Coeur d'Alene, and then another year experience. So I have 4 years total experience with FRC teams, and all these interesting things pop up, so we'll be ready.
Yep. And he's going to be assisted by Darren G., and Darren is the lead robot inspector for Seattle, and he's going to be helping get Brian up to speed on everything, but it sounds like it's going to all go splendidly, and we're pretty excited to have all that get done. And how many robot inspectors are there, do you know?
Well, we have a smattering of people on different days, but I think I have a pretty full load on Thursday, of course, so I think I have about 12 or 14 signed up for Thursday, and my plan is to pair up some experience with unexperienced so we can make the pool larger for next year.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So the teams, these are the guys that the robot inspectors are the ones that are going to help all of the teams get out on the field safely and following the rules. And so it's a very busy job. A lot of the robot inspectors are actually mentors from teams. And so it works really, really well. We have a policy of no robot left behind, and I'm sure that we're going to extend that to the Spokane area. We've never had a robot not compete. So, all right. So those are kind of our big key volunteers that you'll be watching for, and of course our head main key volunteer, home. There we go. So this is Dale. He is the volunteer coordinator. He is the one that is going to be responsible for all of the volunteers and figuring out where you're supposed to go. So if you get completely lost, Dale's the guy to go find, and he'll be able to tell you who you're working for. Christian Hansen here is his job is has been to put together this great event at Eastern and coordinate all of these folks, and I'll be helping him through the event. So you can ask me, of course, or Christian, and if one of us can't find the answer, we'll find it for you. And then for some reason I couldn't find a picture of Michael Campbell, our regional director. He is going to be taking care of all of the VIP functions and is our official contact to FIRST. So, okay, with that, I do want to take advantage of this opportunity to thank you. This is my 14th season of FIRST, and the impact that this program has on the students is really profound. And if you've never seen this before, you will understand by the end of the weekend. We are going to have a direct impact on well, we have about 3,000 students in the state of Washington, and we're going to impact all of them this weekend, even though only half of them are going to be there. It's really amazing what the kids learn from this. It's really amazing the level of confidence that they develop, the level of technical expertise they develop, and the level of interest in their own future that they develop. So this is your volunteering is really an important part of allowing us to do that sort of stuff. So I hope that on Saturday night you are going to be tired, I guarantee it, but at the same time you will and should feel very proud of yourself for what we're going to accomplish in the next over the next week. It's very profound, and I'm hoping that you will become part of the volunteer base for us. That we have about a 92 or 96% retention rate on volunteers. So we know we're doing something right, and we're hoping that you will end up being a long-term volunteer for us. Okay. So with that, we have the one last slide. If you are completely if you need help and aren't exactly sure what it is that you're supposed to be doing, Dale Garraway is your guy. He's got the master list. If you have non-volunteer questions about things, you can email Christian, and but I think between the two of them, they should be able to either answer all questions that you have, or at least find somebody who can answer them. Okay. With that, I'm going to open this up to questions. We're willing to tell you anything. So you can either raise your hand or type a question in the box, and we will be happy to answer it. No questions? Oh, Gary does. So Gary, I'm about to unmute you. Hi, Gary. Do you have a microphone?
Good evening.
Hi.
I just wanted to confirm that on Wednesday afternoon, the access to the facility is limited to the same entry as the rest of the week. Is that right?
Christian?
Sorry, I was busy reading another question here. Can you repeat your question?
I just wanted to confirm that access to the facility on Wednesday afternoon is the same as the rest of the week, or is it more open?
No, it should be the same.
Okay.
I mean, as far as checking in, and maybe actually Dale can respond to that. Dale, will you have a registration table on Wednesday?
Well, I mean, we'll be setting up the registration table, so registration kind of goes differently on the Wednesday. But basically, I would anticipate, because there's a lot more setup going on, so there's a lot more potential construction type stuff, that we want to be more careful of who's being let in and why at the particular time. So I would guess that there'd be one spot where people will be going in, which will probably be the same spot or one of the main spots for the rest of the days.
And Dale, if you could get a little closer to your microphone.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. So, so you're thinking that is it going to? So volunteer check-in will probably be what, on the mezzanine level of Reese Court?
I would think so. The where you check in on the other days.
Okay.
The problem is that, of course, early in the afternoon there won't be any check-in yet, because that'll have to be set up.
Right. So, so I think there's a multi-part answer to your question, Gary. Usually, what happens is that the volunteer coordinator and volunteer check-in people usually aren't there on Wednesday midday. They kind of get there later in the afternoon. So if you're part of the setup crew, the building will be open. We kind of monitor who's there, and just come on down to the field and find one of the field supervisors, Brogan Thompson or Ron Baker, and we'll get you set up and going. And then the check-in part will happen a little bit later when everybody shows up for that. Does that make sense to you, Gary?
Yep, sure does. Thanks.
Okay. I'm going to go over here to Brian. Hi, Brian.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I'd like to get a copy of the pit layout that I can put inspectors' names to different rows. Is it possible to get a copy of that deposited in the Dropbox?
Yes. Christian, can you do that? I don't have access to the Dropbox.
Yeah, just email it to me. I'll put it in the Dropbox.
It's in your email.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will check that. And just, Kevin, be sure you read through the questions in the question box. I'm not sure those are all open.
Yeah, I'm watching it, because the other reason I unmuted Brian was Ken was asking, you mentioned inspector certification. Can please describe? So I'm assuming, and so I'm now about to unmute Ken as soon as I find him. Oh, he doesn't have a mic. Ken may need to pass inspector certification still. I am going to connect you. Brian, I'll need you to help.
Well, am I still unmuted, Kevin?
No, you're there.
Oh, okay, great. So, this has come up a couple of times. I've been through the lead robot inspection training back in New Hampshire, and I'm going to have a call tomorrow night with the inspectors. Just going over the high points and what we should be looking for in some Q&A session.
Yeah.
As far as a formal training, I don't know of any.
Hang on a sec. Jim, I'm about to unmute you. Hi, Jim. Wait, let me try it again. Jim Wright, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Hey, what do you know? You know where how to?
Yeah, I was just digging in my email box to see if I could find the link that I used, and I'm going to pop that into the questions.
Okay, thanks. I'm going to mute you again. There actually is an inspector certification area that maybe didn't get communicated, so we will deal with that. If you are an inspector, in a few minutes here, Jim's going to find that link, and there's some materials for you to look for. It's got a sample inspection sheet and a little test for you to kind of verify that you're up to speed on some of that stuff. And if push comes to shove, we will team you up with somebody who's done this before, and we will deal with it. So Ken, otherwise I have sent you, as an answer to your question privately, I gave you Brian's email address. Make sense?
That sounds great. Yeah, thanks. And Jim, thanks for sending that link out. If you can send that to me too, I'll make sure that anybody else that's not on the call gets it, and I'll put it in my presentation for tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. And Brian, I'm going to tune in on Brian here real quick. Hi, Brian. Is your microphone on?
Are you talking to
Oh,
Brian
sorry,
Dooney?
Brian Woodburn.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, I just heard that the pit layout would need some editing, so as far as I know, it's not final.
Do you know what needs to be edited?
No, I was just asked to make some edits in the future, but I don't know of anything specifically that needs to be edited. That's all I know.
Okay.
Just, Kevin, for your information, Brian is a person locally who can do the CAD drawings. So if last minute somebody needs to do some edits, say you move some pits around,
Okay.
Brian Woodbury is your go-to guy. So I think that's what he's referring to.
Oh, well, thank you, Brian. I will. I'm going to grab your email address here. The one at Commuter Cars, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I will. I'll send you the modifications I made today, and then I will turn the whole thing over to you. How's that sound?
Okay, thank you.
All right. And oh, sorry. There we go. Let's see. We've got what is the team social? Masood was asking. The team social is a after party on Friday for the kids and I assume mentors to go hang out for a little while and do social-like things rather than just competing. It's always a fun little event. The kids like to hang out with each other, especially teams that don't get to see each other very often. So it's just a good way to do that. It's being held across the street in one of the recreational buildings, and I think it was a $5 charge to get in, and then you can purchase food there. It should be a lot of fun. They've got laser tag and volleyball. They got a bunch of games for the kids to play, and it mostly it's just a complete gab fest for a bunch of high school kids, but it's kind of a riot to watch. So let's see. Andrew was asking, it looks like the teams go outside between the pits and the field. No, actually that's all indoors. They are two separate buildings, but it is covered on the way across. I am going, let's see, how do I do this? Hey, Jim, is there any reason I can't just post this to all the inspectors here? Oh, I'm going to unmute you. Here we go. Is this super secret, or should I?
Oh, good. No, it's not super secret. Well, at least I don't think it's super secret. But the trouble is that it might be, ooh, I'm loud. It might be that you had to have a VIMS ID in order to get your first name and last name. I sent the original email to Dale and Brian. So it should be in their email boxes right now. But I would post the stuff that I just posted and see what happens.
Okay. Okay. If you're an inspector, if you're not an inspector, do us the gracious professional thing and not do this. But if you are an inspector and you're signed up in VIMS as an inspector, check your chat window. And it's got instructions on where to find the certification stuff. It's actually pretty. It's actually pretty easy. So, Pam, please make in on the right and out on the left. Sure. Maybe. We may change that on site. I agree. I thank you for catching that. And of course, Kevin Crater, who is one of the first Washington First Robotics guys, is also pretty much the funnest fellow that we have. I'm going to unmute you. Hi, Kev. So you're wondering where the pub crawl is. Is that right?
I was just asking.
Would you like to organize a pub crawl, say, on Friday?
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. So I don't know that one has been organized yet, but my guess is that it's probably going to happen. Adrian is going to be there as well, so you know it's going to happen, actually. Between you and Adrian, something will happen.
Just a quick word to all those volunteers who have not volunteered before. Don't be afraid. Embrace it, and you'll have a good time. And trust us that we'll make sure you have a good time.
Yes, that's our organizing committee is very good at that. We love volunteers as much as students, so you will have a great time. Okay, was Dale able to get the video directions for the practice field assembly?
Yes.
You were?
Yes, they are in the Dropbox.
Can you do me a favor and send it to my friend Heidi? Heidi, I assume you're doing it in over there as well? I'm going to unmute you.
I think she was copied on those emails, so she should have the login to the Dropbox.
Okay.
Yeah, Heidi's coming in late, so that's why I asked for the videos, because I'm going to steal a couple of the ROTC students who we've got helping out with the setup to build the practice field in the afternoon.
Okay, Dale, so Heidi is saying, yes, she's going to arrive about 5 p.m. and she did not get the email. Could you send that link to her again?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, and Tammy has sorry, Tammy. I have to expand my window. You're down there in the T's. I'm going to unmute you. Hi, Tammy.
Hello.
How are you?
I was an inspector in Seattle. I've been an inspector for several years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a ref for this particular event, but I'll be there Thursday morning at 7. So I was just going to let the head inspector know that I'd be happy to help out for a while in the morning with inspections, or if you'd like to have the extra inspector.
Awesome. Brian Indunia, is that good with you?
Yay. That's exciting. We have a lot of good experienced people, I think, and I'm going to be relying on Darren and Eric Stokely and a few others, and Tammy, having you there would just be that much better. And my hope is that all of you with experience will, like I said, take an unexperienced person or somebody who hasn't done this before and show them how to fish, and then let them fish for a while. So if that's okay with you, that's what I'd really like to do.
Absolutely. Would love to help out.
That sounds great.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tammy. So I'm going to hand... Hi, Brian Woodbury. Did you have another question? I can't hear you, but I see your.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you go. Hi.
Hi. I got the link for my testcom, and I don't know what the account code is.
Jim, is there? Do you know what the account code is? Does that make sense to you?
There's a username, a password, and account code.
Oh. I unmuted you. You got to unmute yourself, Jim.
There we go. Sorry. Let me look. Account code. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Hey guys, it's FRC testing.
There we go. Thank you.
FRC testing. Okay.
Great. Thank you.
Great. Any other questions that I can help with?
Yeah, Kevin, this is Brian Induni again. I just had a question on the training videos, and I know this the field videos. I know up to the point of Portland there had been some concerns about the bridges, and actually the GDC authorized a change to the bridges. Do the videos include this change?
I don't know.
Are you familiar with the change I'm just talking about?
Nope. I don't. I claim ignorance. I don't know anything at all about the game. Patrick has raised his hand. Let's find out if. Hi, Patrick. Whoops. Do you have a microphone? Patrick Lee? Oh, hand went up, hand went down. Okay. All right. So with that, it looks like Pam, yeah, we'll probably move. Pam is asking why if spare parts was separate from the pit admin. Yeah, we usually do make it a little bit separate. And I didn't actually do this layout, so that'll be an easy one. If we want to change that when we get on site, we can do that. All right. With that, everybody, I guess we will call it an evening. I don't want to hold you on the line for too long. So again, thank you so much, and we'll see you on either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, depending on when you're supposed to show up. Christian, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think I'm all good for now.
Okay. Dale, how about you?
I'm good for now.
Okay. Michael?
I just unmuted. I just want to say, Kevin, thank you. Kevin, thank you. Christian, thank you. Dale, thank you. All the volunteers, thank you. 9 months ago, this was just kind of an idea, and it has come together so well with 48 teams and a number of them from out of state and a really large contingent from Eastern Washington and 15 teams coming over from Western Washington. So I just don't know where to start or end the thanks, but thanks to all of you guys, and look forward to seeing you on Wednesday when we move in.
Okay. All right. And so, Dale, don't go away yet. You need to call Lindy Baker, I believe. I'm going to... okay. So, anyway, thank you, everybody, and I will send... Dale, you're about to get an email from me.
Okay.
Good night.